Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
Hey, I like your new RAV4.
Thanks, yours too.
What does RAV stand for anyway?
To me, it's the Remarkably Advanced Vehicle.
Really? To me, it's the Runway Approved Vehicle for its amazing style.
What about Remarkably Adaptable Vehicle because of its versatile cargo space?
Or Really Admired Vehicle?
Oh, or Really Awesome Vehicle.
It really is the recreational activity vehicle. The stylish 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. What's your RAV4?
Instagram teen accounts have automatic protections for what teens see and who can contact them, plus time management tools. And Instagram will continue adding built-in safety features to help create age-appropriate experiences. Learn more about teen accounts and Instagram's ongoing work to protect teens online at instagram.com/teen accounts.
And we are live. All right, let's do this. Another Monday session live. We're getting consistent, people. We are getting consistent. I hope that the Wi-Fi is going to get us through this live because I've got a bar, like a Wi-Fi bar in front of me, and it ain't looking great. I don't know why. We're plugged in as normal. Everything is fine, but who knows? Who knows, right? We'll see if we get through it. Hopefully we do. Do me a favor very quickly before we get going. As is modern day technology, can someone in the comment section just say, Ade, we can hear you. That's all I care about. We can hear you. We can see you. And it isn't too bad. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and scroll. And I need someone to say to me, we got you. Take your time as you're doing that. Pour myself a little drink. Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. We can see you. We can hear you. Wonderful. All right, let's do this. I am drinking a single, this is what it says. I'm just reading out what it says to you. Single pot still Irish whiskey, triple distilled Irish whiskey. I think, I might be wrong. I think G-Man gave me this. Or should I say Liam Goff? I think he gave me this. It's pretty good. Don't know why he gave it to me. Might have been my birthday. But yeah, he gave it to me. All right, should we get into this? The doorbell is going to make a noise any second from now because food was ordered and it was supposed to be here ages ago. So you're going to hear a doorbell. But that's nothing. That's live TV, right? All right. Obviously, you guys know I was in Sheffield over the weekend. By the way, when we do these lives, we're not just talking boxing. Like any question can come in and I'll answer it. Provided it's not stupid, I'll answer it. It doesn't have to be about boxing. But as you guys know, I was in Sheffield over the weekend. Incredible atmosphere. You know what? This is how good it was. My top 5 best atmospheres has now changed. Like that atmosphere, Sheffield on the weekend, Dave Allen, Arslanbek Makhmudov has moved into my top 5. Like, I'm not joking. It might be in my top 3. It was that loud in there. To the point where I was like, I had my earpiece in and I took my earpiece out. I was like, okay, one second. This sounds really loud. It was incredible. Obviously, the result wasn't what I think all of us wanted. I think most of us like Dave Allen, right? So you kind of want Dave Allen to win because you want to kind of know what next, right? There's a lot of talk about Wilder. There was some silly talk about AJ. I don't know where that came from. And now that's not going to happen. And not only that, but you think, like, if he were to have won, then those 9,000 people are coming back. Now, kind of have to get them on board again. So, yeah, slightly disappointed for Dave Allen. Very happy for Bilal Fawaz, whose story is quite remarkable. Honestly, it's a crazy story. I'm not going to get into it. You guys can Google him and you'll read everything I've read. Crazy story. Felt sorry for Janae Boston. I like Janae. I think he's got a lot of talent. There are things he has to work on, but that will come with experience. I just hope that he doesn't take that type of beating again as he works on things. So they're going to have to like bring the level right down and give him rounds against not journeymen, but guys that he clearly can beat. Because I mean, he took a bit of a beating on Saturday. I mean, he took some big shots, some real big shots, especially that shot in the third round. I mean, he was punching as Bilal was punching. So he put all his weight into it and then Bilal caught him. And I'm surprised. I mean, it only goes to show how fit Junaid is that he stayed on his feet. But look, I'm guessing you guys are going to ask loads of questions about that. We're going to get into Boots Ennis. I mean, everyone needs to calm down a bit on this Boots thing. Eddie's like saying, didn't Eddie say something like he's the best talent he's ever had or ever worked with? And I'm like, you didn't work with Dimitri Bivol? You didn't work with Canelo? I mean, Katie Taylor? AJ? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Let's breathe. Let's breathe. Jesse Bam Rodriguez, who's pound for pound number 4 or 5. Well, he's more talented than Jesse Bam Rodriguez because he beat Usman Lima, who struggled against Aaron McKenna, lost to Aaron McKenna. Eddie, you're a salesman, sir, and I respect it, but I'm not buying what you're selling. Not yet. Nope, not yet. All right, let's get into the questions. This one's from Caesar Mullins. Yes, Ade, I've got a question about your upcoming weight cut that you've mentioned doing. I have, and I am doing it. I think the plan might be to start next week. So for those of you that don't know what he's talking about, a couple of years ago, we did the road to 175 pounds. I wanted to go through what a fighter goes through cutting weight, apart from obviously getting hit in the face in sparring. And we did it. We made the 175 in 5 weeks. So we started like 210 pounds, went down to 175. I videoed it the best I could at the time. Obviously now I feel like I know what I'm doing a bit more in terms of videoing and editing and getting someone to do it. So we are going to do a weight cut again from the 200 pound mark, but we're going to super middleweight 168. That deserves a drink. We're going to 168, people. 168 pounds. To be fair, when I did the 175 cut, I did get down to 172. So I kind of went over. So I'm thinking I can definitely do 4 more pounds. So yeah, we're going to give it a go. Damo became a YouTube member. I need to do way more for you members. I feel so, you know, I need like a plan. I need to like, okay, so the members are going to get these 4 videos or 5 videos every week. Do you know what I mean? To make it worth your while, because the last thing I want, and I genuinely mean this, is for you guys to become members just to support me, and I give nothing back. And I'm like, oh, don't become a member then. So, yeah, I'm going to write some shit down and we're going to plan it out. But it's definitely going to be like 3 or 4 videos a week. But Damo, thank you very, very much. All right. This one, Tim Lowe says, who you got winning October 25th, Parker or Wardley? I like both, you know. I do like both guys, but I don't want to fence it either. Parker's definitely favorite. Let's not beat around the bush here. Parker's favorite. Wardley could chin him. It's funny because everyone's asked me this, and I've said this. I said, like, Wardley could chin him, though. Because, I mean, like, I saw Wardley getting outboxed comfortably, like, by Justice Hooney, comfortably. And you saw Wardley, like, feeling sorry for himself, and then, bang. He could do that to Joseph Parker. I don't think he will, but he could. So, look, you just never know. You never know. What's this one? Evening, my friend. In regards to last week's question, I have an idea to present to Eddie during Eubank versus Ben 2 fight week. You'd like, whichever day you want me to try and get me 10 minutes. Dude, you like that's almost the impossible question. Like, get you 10 minutes with Eddie. I mean, I mean, there's a lot of things I can do. That one might be difficult. I mean, Eddie is like, he's like guarded like the fucking prime minister. But you never know. You never know. We'll see. We'll see what we can do. I'll certainly try, by the way. Tim Lowe says, also October the 15th between Davis and Paul. This one, I don't know. I have no idea. Like, my interest for it is so low. like so low. I guess you've got to go Javonte Davis, but the size is massive. The size gap between these two. Like Javonte, what's he walking around at? 150? 150? What's Jake Paul walking around at? I know there's a weight limit that Jake has to hit, but I mean, he will still balloon up after that. I don't know, man. I don't have that interest for it. I really don't. Tim asked another one. Also, thoughts on Dave Allen versus the Russian Lion last weekend. All right, let's quickly talk about this. I thought Arslanbek Makhmudov was a lot better than maybe everyone predicted he would be. Everyone said his feet is slow, which they kind of were, but that the punch output would drain a little bit. Man, that guy was still throwing right hands until the bell. Like he went on. And I thought Dave Allen started slow in the hope that Arslanbek Makhmudov would tire. Didn't tire, did he? Didn't tire, and he landed some big shots. There's a couple of shots that you could see clearly hurt Dave Allen, but Dave Allen kept on coming forward. Dave was disappointing. I mean, I think we all wanted and expected more. I wanted more output. And I said this the other day on the video I did, sort of post-fight. Like Dave Allen weighed more for that fight than he did for his first Johnny Fisher fight. I mean, all those images we saw of him like looking lean and stuff, like are they photoshopping images or something? Because clearly he still had that big sort of area, didn't he? And I just felt like if he came in a bit light, it might have been a bit fitter, a bit faster on his feet, because Arslanbek Makhmudov is slow. And I think we saw Caballero, how quick Caballero was to get to close the distance with him. And he couldn't hold Caballero because Caballero was in and out. Like Caballero had this like body assault. And if you saw Arslanbek Makhmudov against Dave Allen, he kept on holding him because Dave Allen was just there. Whereas Caballero, was there then wasn't there because he's just a fitter guy, faster on his feet. And I thought they might look at Makhmudov and think, okay, we might have to play the speed game here because you're not going to beat him on the size game. But if we can play the speed game, we can get in and out. But Dave Allen went in and didn't have enough in the tank or enough speed to get out. So, yeah, slightly disappointed with Dave, but I mean, he said at the end, didn't he, that he's not good enough. I think he is good enough to beat Makhmudov, but maybe not good enough to be where everyone thought he was going to be, right? Fight Deontay Wilder, fight Zhili Zhang. Those some crazy names been thrown about. Let's have a look. What's this one? Lucas, who are the top 5 British sportsmen of all time? I ain't got a clue. You know, in fact, okay, I think I know 4. I'll give you 4 that are definite. Like Lewis Hamilton, I guess, has to be there, right? Just has to be. How many world championships has he won in F1? Daley Thompson. I think everyone forgets Daley Thompson. Fucking hell. Like that. He must be like the athlete of all athletes. I was going to say Sir Bobby Charlton, and it probably is Sir Bobby Charlton, but I didn't watch him play football. Obviously, I'm not that old. So for me, the best English footballer I've ever seen is Wayne Rooney. And it pains me to say that as a Liverpool fan, but he's fucking just incredible. Andy Murray, like to compete against Nadal, Djokovic. He's competing against the greatest tennis players ever. And people might say, yeah, he didn't win much. Well, even to win 1 Grand Slam against those lot is crazy. So Andy Murray, how many is that, 4? Who else? What am I missing? I'm trying to think of another sport. You know, I did like growing up, Johnny Wilkinson. Like when rugby became pro, as it was a semi-pro sport for so many years, Johnny Wilkinson kind of just came from that. I wonder what he's up to now, Johnny Wilkinson. Is he a Sir, Johnny Wilkinson? Okay. Mo Farah deserves a mention. So, like, I mean, is he not double Olympic gold medalist back to back? Come on. So Mo Farah, although there are kind of some asterisks around how he won those medals, but he's won them. Return of the Mac says Parker wins inside 5. Maybe. I mean, look, this is a guy that chopped down Bacoli in 1. In 2. I know Bacoli wasn't fit, but he's got that power to put your lights out. And Joseph Parker's so much bigger than Joseph Parker of 5 years ago. Like Joseph Parker's now a 260, 270 pound heavyweight that has still retained his speed and has so much experience. That's the one thing Joseph Parker has that no one really brings to the table. No one talks about it. He's got so much experience. Like Joseph Parker's hit list, win or lose in the last decade, is crazy. When you think about it, this is off the top of my head. I might have got some names. I might miss some names out here. There you go. There's the buzzer for food. And he's going mad. Doesn't stop buzzing. So what? Carlos Takam, Andy Ruiz. Who else has he fought? That's quite early. But let's just go AJ after that. He's obviously fought Dillian White, Derek Chisora, bloody hell, Martin Bakoli, Deontay Wilder, Zhili Zhang, Wardley. I've missed someone out. You know how crazy that hit list is. One of the best hit lists around. Crazy. All right. Catherine White says, hi, Ed, I hope you're good. Any word if there will be a 5 versus 5 card again? The one a while ago was good. Who would you like to see if they do another one? Ben Whittaker, for example. Keep up the good work. Yeah, there was supposed to be one February last year. So I don't know. I can't remember when the last one was, but there was supposed to be one. Like a Queensbury versus Matchroom rematch. There's a lot of talk as well about Matchroom versus Golden Boy, which I would prefer because there are a few intriguing matchups that Golden Boy and Matchroom could put on. For example, the Boots versus Virgil one would top it, right? Do you know what I mean? There's ones like that. I don't know. There is going to be another one. I'd love there to be. I thought that one was exciting, especially now when you watch it back on the Netflix doc, the Matchroom Netflix doc, you see it and it's like, okay, this was exciting. So hopefully, Catherine, there is another one, but for now, I've heard nothing. Zero. Simon Jones. Hey, Ade, just wanted to say it's great to be in the live with you and everyone tonight. Needed this. Hey, I needed it as well. Every time like you guys say you need it, I need it. Trust me. I need it as well. It's always good to talk to you guys. I used to actually get people on. We might have to start doing that. Getting people on. I used to put the link in the description and you guys would come on and have your say. But I did go a bit crazy toward the end. What's this one? I do love me some chicken and waffles. Eden Ade, are you up for any awards this year on broadcasting or podcast you deserve? You know what? I don't know. I noticed about a lot of these award things. People kind of nominate themselves and put it. Okay, let me really say what I want to say. I used to really care about winning awards. It meant a lot. That there's a big award called the SJAs, which is like our Oscars. And I've been up for best presenter, which is like, again, it's almost like best lead actor. I've been up for best presenter like 3 years in a row, and I've made the top 5, which in itself is incredible. So that's the only one I really care about, if I'm honest with you. That's the one. I will apply again. You've got to make your own show reel and apply. I'll apply again. But yeah, that's the only one I care about, because that one, I'm not joking, you're up against like Laura Woods, Gary Lineker, Kate Abdo. Do you know what I mean? Like the fucking heavyweights. So even to make top 5 a couple of times has been some achievement. Mohammed Zain says, hey, Ade, what did you make of Todd Grisham's commentary when he said Boots, maybe he is the best fighter we've ever... Horrendous. Todd, I love you. We are good friends. No. Again, this is what I'm talking about. This is the hyperbole that's come out of that win. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, what is going on? Like, the people were acting like he just knocked out fucking Fundora. I mean, people acting like he's knocked out the number 1 in the division. Like, what are we doing? I remember when that fight was first announced, everyone was like, who? And now all of a sudden, and by the way, Boots look really good. This is no Sly and Boots. So this isn't a boot stick, because you can only beat what's put in front of you. And he destroyed what was in front of him. But we just got to be careful with this kind of, okay, Boots is this guy now because he beat up someone that we all expected him to be. Like Lima, at best, is a C-rated fighter, maybe D, right? Again, go and watch Aaron McKenna versus Lima, which is a good fight, but that's his level. So I just think the world's gone a bit crazy. And Todd is definitely going to get an email from me. I mean, a message from me later on. No, so scheduling this over Monday Night Smoke is criminal. But guys, I hate doing this. Trust me, I wanted to do this yesterday. My guys on Monday Night Smoke, I love them. Guys, I'm sorry. I don't mean to do this. Travis, KG, you guys are my guys. I'm so sorry. Mohammed Zain, who do you think will win next year's FIFA World Cup? Yeah, I was going to pick a South American team just because of where it's based. And it's always tough to kind of look past, the reigning champions, right? Argentina or Brazil. But I just love what Spain are doing. Dude, Spain, reigning European champions. They got some young talent, right? Plus, they've got the experienced heads as well. Spain looked really good. I watched Spain the other day just smash someone. Was it 6-0 like a couple of months ago? And I was like, they almost look like the complete team. They look like the complete team. So I'm going to go Spain. England ain't going to do shit. Never do shit. Do they? Let's be honest. Never do anything. Quinn 40. My God. Quinn 40. Jesus. I'm happy he said this. Mr. Ade Oladipo, my man, in less than a year, I've been a sub for 10 years. Watched every damn video. Respect you in your job. Wow. You know what? Yeah. If someone just said that, basically he didn't need to say that because I know that I've seen Quinn 40 for years. I've seen that name just pop up for years. Sensational. You know, someone at the boxing in Sheffield was with his partner, and his partner actually came up to me first and said, "Oh my God, my husband's been a fan of you forever, for ages." And then the husband came over, or the partner, and said, "Dude, I've been watching you since you had 800 subscribers." So it's basically like Quinn 40. 800. I was like, and I've got 110,000 or whatever now. Mad. Quinn, appreciate it, my man. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's jump into some more question. Where are we? Joe Barrow said, "Evening, Ade, and hello to everyone here this evening. Press the likes, peeps." Press the like, people. Press the likes. All right. Good evening, Ade. How do you think the Liverpool versus Manchester United? I think you're going to say game is going to go. Obviously, look, I pray to God Liverpool win. It's a bit nervous now because if Liverpool lose, that's 4 in a row. And that's 3 league games in a row. And that's pressure that Slot would never have faced probably in his managerial career. But, I mean, we should destroy Man United. Man United, I mean, come on. We should destroy Man United. Like, pathetic team. Ade, who do you think is next for Dave Allen? I ain't got a clue. I generally ain't got a clue because I'm guessing we're thinking someone maybe over here. I mean, look, Fraser Clark is taking on Jimmy TKV, British title, October 25th. Obviously, same night as Parker Wardley. Fraser Clark's already beaten Dave Allen, and it wasn't that long ago, a couple of years ago. I mean, if you're Fraser Clark, you take the money. If that's offered to you, Dave Allen wants to fight for the British title and he wants to fight in Sheffield in front of 9,000 again. If you're Fraser Clark, you probably look at it as easy money. And to be fair, obviously Fraser Clark has suffered a damaging defeat after that as well to Fabio Wardley. So I'm not trying to say that evens the playing field because I still have Fraser as a big favorite, but maybe he wants to go for the British title. Maybe you do that. If TKV wins, then obviously it's all systems go for TKV versus Dave Allen. But yeah, I'm not. I don't know. That's why Carl Frampton on the broadcast said maybe he should retire. And it maybe came across a bit harsh. I'm happy Carl said it and not me, because you know me, I say everyone should fucking retire. But maybe it came across as a bit harsh, but maybe he's seen him take so much punishment. He took a lot of punishment in that Makhmudov fight, you know. You know, the thing is, with Dave, because, and I think this is even scarier, because he has got a chin, an iron chin, and doesn't go down, and doesn't bruise or cut. So it almost doesn't look like he's been in a tough fight. Does that make any sense? You know, some people get fucked up straight away and they just look like they've been through a war. He never looks like he's been through a war. But he's taken a lot of punishment. He's taken some big shots of fucking guys that are walking around at 280 pounds. Maybe retirement is an option, man. H says, I was at the live podcast that you did recently. It was lit. It was really good. I definitely do it again. We're actually looking to do it in January sometime. So that's the plan anyway. And it's probably going to be, I wanted to do it sort of in the Midlands somewhere, but it's most likely going to be back at King's Cross. Don't shoot me down. Don't shoot me down. Just because that one just works for now. It works for now. The venue size is perfect. Whoever was there, and H, you were saying you were there, it's just a perfect venue size. And with it being King's Cross, every single rail link goes to King's Cross, National Rail, all the stations, so the railway lines within London. So it's kind of easier to do. And they were really good to us as well. All right. Makhmudov had 800 plus punches in that fight, from no gas tank to Terminator. Oh, stop it. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Now, you know what? He's at a gas tank. I watched Makhmudov against Carlos Takam. Go and watch that fight. Makhmudov threw a lot of punches in that fight as well. And that was I think that was a 10 rounder. And Carlos Takam was on his chest all night. So he has a history of like good output. I like Makhmudov. I think he spoke well. So hopefully there is no issue. I'd hate for that to happen. Remember, Yafai had that, didn't he? After his fight, and everyone was like, he's fighting a guy that looks possessed. Fingers crossed, there's no issue. Well, that would be awful. Awful. Bill Knows Boxing says Alan doesn't care enough to be fit. I want to disagree with you. I really do, because Alan is a great kid, great guy. But I was a bit disappointed when I saw the weight. Just a little bit. And look, sometimes it means nothing, all this weight stuff. Some people are just never body beautiful, right? Tyson Fury is an example of someone that has a gas tank like a crazy man, but, still has a tire around his bloody belly area. But you would like to think that if Dave Allen came in just a little lighter, it would have helped the gas tank. Like, no one's going to convince me that isn't the case. But yeah, it happens. It happens. What's this one? Eustace Norman says, yeah, Ade, I thought this was a Ade and G-Man Q&A. No. Me and G-Man are recording on Wednesday. We're going to do the Q&A there. I think there's a post already up about the Q&A, so get your questions in and we'll answer all of them on Wednesday. Should be fun. The Sheriff, who is your dream YouTube collab and your dream podcast guest? Oh, that's a good question. Thank you for the super chat. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to still say my dream YouTube collab is Hatman. It is, because like he for me, in this kind of what we do, this kind of making these type of videos, Hatman's still number one for me. I know some people have moved on from Hatman, but for me, he's still number one. I think he's fantastic. He just won't be on camera. He won't be on camera. But for me, he's still, like, I still watch, I'd say 90% of his videos. I still get inspiration from a lot of his videos. I think he's fantastic. Your dream podcast guest would be, let me think. Dream podcast guest. I was going to say Mike Tyson, but not anymore. I was watching some of his old fights. You know what? Like, I'd love to have two. Can I have two? I'd love it to be Fury and AJ. I think Fury and AJ, because I think they're the biggest like fighters we've ever seen in this country. Like they're rock stars, they're superstars, and I'd love to speak to them both about their journey. So no aggro, not like a face-off, just about their own journey, because it's had its ups and downs, highs and lows, things we haven't seen. So yeah, those would be my two dream. I know you said one, but those would be my two. Is that all right that I said two? Where are we? Tim Lowe says Boots is overrated. Crawford will spark him. I have no doubt if Crawford can make 154, he will light Boots up. Boots gets hit a lot. Like, Crawford has shown us that he is special. We saw it against Errol Spence. We saw it against Canelo. Like, Crawford's special. Boots gets hit a lot, man. But yeah, this is another one. I didn't know that Eddie worked with Usyk. And this basically, if you've just joined the live, because I mentioned a bit earlier that Eddie said that Boots is the best fighter he's ever worked with. And I'm like, huh? And clearly Eddie was excited, but I was like, what? Like, I could name 20. Like, if someone put me on the spot, gun to the head, I think I could name 20 that are bigger and better than Boots. Boots could eclipse all of them, but for now, he's nowhere near some of the names he's got. Like, I even felt bad for, if I'm Jesse Bam Rodriguez, I'm sending Eddie a message straight away, like, what? Well, Boots is more specially talented than me? You know what I mean? Bivol, if I'm Bivol, I'm like, 1 second, Eddie. Sorry, 1 second. I'm pound for pound number 4 right now. It's better than me? Come on, man. Get out of here. And as for Usyk, I mean, Usyk's an all-time great. Come on. Where are we? What's this one? William, how do I say this name? German? Is that right? Bam versus Inoue. Do you think that's a fight that could ever happen? And how would you see that going? It certainly is a fight that could happen. I actually think it's a fight that could happen in 2026. Inoue's got a fight December 27th, and then he said that he's going to fight Junto Nakatani. I get it. Sometime, and Inoue fights 3-4 times a year, so that's why I think it can happen. He's going to fight Nakatani. Let's say he fights Nakatani in May. Let's just say that, right? And he comes through that one unscathed. Bam's got to go. Like, these guys are, like, I said, could Inoue come down again? He won't. So there are 2 weight classes apart. But if Inoue could come down one and Bam come up, then that's it. That's a super fight. And Bam could beat Inoue. Could. Inoue's frightening, but Bam could. McGregor versus Diaz 3 right now. Who wins? Who cares? Who cares? McGregor's done. Like, there's this weird, like, want for McGregor to somehow come back and do something. Like, McGregor's done, people. Like, you can see it. Can't you see it? Like, this guy is just, I mean, he's high on everything. He's high on life. Let's just say that. He ain't never fighting again. Didn't he get banned? Isn't he not on a ban now for drugs or sort of, no, for missed tests or something? Like, I've never seen someone walk around looking like, you know, like when people get caught, you're like, oh man. Some people look like they're on stuff, some people don't, so it surprises you. McGregor, like, looks like he's on everything. And it's sad to see, because growing up, listening to McGregor talk and watching McGregor, I used to watch McGregor motivational videos. I still do sometimes in the gym. He was the king of all kings. Like, it was fantastic. Now, it shows you, like, money. Like, and obviously he's got more money than he could ever have dreamt of. So look, I'm not even bashing his life, because like, I think most would do. If everyone had McGregor money, I think everyone would be off the rails a little bit. I'm just saying that don't expect to ever see that guy in an octagon again. Like, it just ain't happening. Jimmy Jinal 1. In what country would you most like to spend your later years? It'd have to be, obviously, my home country of Nigeria, or maybe I did like Cuba when I went. I thought Cuba was nice, especially when because I stayed in Havana quite a lot, but then I went to a place called Valadero, which felt like it was a bit more countryside and rural, and I was like, yeah, could do this. Just peaceful, quiet. So either one of those two. What's this one? Ade, do you think Dave Allen will? No. On that though, I will say this: Wilder did an interview with some streamer. I'm not too up to date with these streamers, but a big streamer, didn't he? And he said he's got a big fight in January. Like, I think he hasn't signed the contract yet or something, but he's going for it. But he's been offered a big fight in January. And I was thinking, who could that be? Because obviously Chisora's December, even though no opponent named for Chisora, and we're 2 months out. You'd like to think an opponent should be named now. So I was thinking, is it AJ? I mean, is AJ fighting Wilder? No idea. No idea. Reese Cooper disagrees with my take on Boots. He says, on talent and potential alone, probably is the best Eddie has apart from Bam. No, because on talent, Bivol's better. But I know what you mean potential by saying the future, but Bivol is like 10 times the boxer Boots is. Like, come on, this is Dimitri Bivol we're talking about. Right, 10 times is a bit much, but he's better, right? I think we can all agree on that. So no, I don't agree. I don't like. I'm very much on, okay, who have you beaten? Like, I need to see someone of note. And I guess the biggest name right now on Boots' resume is Stanionis. And that might not be Boots' fault, but Boots is clearly, trying to get fights. But until he does something like what we saw on the weekend to someone in the top 15, I'm going to reserve my thoughts on how good I think he is. Again, that's not a dig. That's just, what it is. Stringer Basquiat says, how many tattoos? Thanks for the super chat. How many tattoos do you have? Do you regret them? I don't know how many I've got. Maybe 40? Maybe? Because some of them are like small and individual ones, but there are quite a few. And on the legs as well. Do I regret them? I got my first tattoo. Bear in mind, I'm 44. I got my first tattoo when I was 17. And I was pretty much covered on both arms and top chest by the time I was like 22. So we're talking a long time ago, maybe before some of you were even born. So what I will say is that when I was getting tattoos, they weren't like they weren't designers. Do you know what I mean? They weren't like, it was just an old guy smoking a fag, doing what you used to. In fact, you know what you used to do? You used to have to go to a tattoo parlor, and there was like this big plastic magazine, and you would go through it and pick a tattoo. That's how it was. Like now it's completely different. So some of them I maybe regret because I think that, okay, I could have had something really stylish, but it is what it is. They're all sort of journeys in my life, if you like. So I think I went around the houses there with the answer, but yeah, some of them I do, some of them I don't. Is Aiton, Dylan Goodrich, going to be the face of women boxing in 2 years? Tough ask. She's still very young. Very, very young. Again, we have a right to be excited about her because she's exciting, she's young, and she's aggressive. But there are still some girls out there that can go some. Do you know what I mean? That are not old. That can, like, Ellie Scotney's not old. Do you know what I mean? Ellie Scotney can fucking go some. So there are still some. But obviously, the likes of Amanda will be gone, Katie will be gone, maybe Michaela Mai will be gone. There'll be a few gone, but then there are still girls here that can fight and might be the face. Lauren Price, she doesn't talk as much, but if she can, if Lauren Price had Eddie to talk for her, she deserves so much more of a push. So there are a lot of girls out there, but Aiton will be in the mix. But the face, not sure about that. Not sure about that. And I didn't even mention some of the American female boxers that are still there. So yeah, it's going to be a tough ask. All right. Where are we? That's a good question, I think. The special one said, is Crawford's performance versus Spence the greatest performance of all time? When two top 5 pound-for-pound fighters fought each other and it was meant to be a 50-50. You know what? I don't know about all time. I'm not going to try and pretend I'm an historian. I know that's Spencer Fearon's job. But in terms of my lifetime, I can't think of a fight which... And now, look, everyone in hindsight is like, oh yeah, but Spencer was done, the car crash. Fuck that shit. At the time of that fight being put on, everyone was like 50-50. In fact, I remember a lot of people saying Spence might be a bit too big for Crawford. What Crawford did in that fight, and I watched that fight back a few weeks ago, extraordinary. Honestly, dude, it's not the greatest performance of all time because we can't remember fights from the 30s and 40s and 50s, whatever. But it's the greatest performance of my lifetime in 2 pound-for-pounders going at each other. The greatest. I mean, I guess Hagler has to be up there with Hearns. Hearns must have been a pound-for-pounder when he fought Hagler. That was a great performance as well, but nothing was like this. That was a one-sided beatdown of Errol Spence. Unbeaten Big Errol. Nah, man. It was so bad, the beating. Errol's not fought since. Crazy. Where are we? 100-meter sprinters, Hall of Fame for men and women. Oh, this is too tough. That's too tough a question. But I'll answer it. I do men because there's some ladies I'm going to miss out and I know everyone's going to get pissed off. Donovan Bailey. Let me give you my top 5. Donovan Bailey is in there. Don't yeah. If you like your athletics, go and watch Donovan Bailey's chase down in Atlanta where he had a bad start, broke the world record 9.84. Donovan Bailey. Usain Bolt, obviously. Maurice Green has to be there. Morris Green has to be there. Carl Lewis, say what you want about him. Probably cheated. They all fucking probably cheated. Carl Lewis, one more. So I got Bailey, got Green, I got Bolt, I got Bailey. Oh, wait. Got Bailey, I got Green, I got Bolt, I got Carl Lewis. Noah Lyles. I like Noah, you know. I like Noah. There you go. Don't tell me I don't know about my athletics. Ade Oladipo. I guess this is, it's if someone creates a name off your name, then it means you're doing something good in life. Ade, I thought you was going to go and do the boot show in Philly. So did I. Obviously, I did the Dave Allen show, and I was actually more happier to do the Dave Allen show. I love nothing better than a big fight over here. I think the atmosphere in the UK is just so much better. So much better. Don't go wrong. The Mexicans know how to make a racket in America, but I mean, the Brits, like the fans, the best fan base are the English, the Irish, and the Mexicans by far. So anytime there's a big fight over here, always happy to stay. Always happy to stay. All right, a couple of super chats that come in quickly. Jay Thomas says Usyk should fight Italma because it will age like Canelo's fight with Mayweather. I know what you mean. But there's a danger that you ruin Italma. Like Canelo is almost made of stuff that the stern stuff in it, and it helped Canelo. In fact, it propelled Canelo. It didn't deter. It didn't put a dent in his career at all. The way Usyk beats people up, it could put a dent in Italma. It could. I mean, some people think Italma could chin him. I'm not one of those people. So I would steer clear of Usyk. I wouldn't even match that up. Like, I would wait for Usyk to retire, and I'd let Italma do the rest with anyone else. But stay clear. Dylan says, can you use your position in boxing to get 15 minutes answering members' questions with boxing people during a fight week? Adam Smith, I could, There's actually a lot I could do. But sometimes I'm just like, should I bother them? Should I not bother them? Sometimes you feel like, it's weird because they'll all do it, but I would do it. And then I'd be like, I wish I didn't do that. So sometimes I feel like I don't want to disturb them, but there's a lot I want to do. It's a good point. That would be a great one for the members, right? Could do that. I'd need in order to do that, like a cameraman right there. I'd need a cameraman right there, and just quickly we just do it. I don't have a cameraman right there, and I'm not going to do it by myself. It's an idea, though. It's an idea. It's a good idea. All right. What we got here? Ade, who you got November 15th? Eubank versus Ben 2. Pell 69. I don't know. I just want to get to that fucking fight. Yeah, last time I didn't do the fight. Do you remember? I didn't do it. Josh Denzel did it, and I was so like, never been so angry in my life. So I'm like steering away from these type of questions. That being said, I feel like it might be one apiece. I feel like Ben could do him, and the reason I think Ben might do him is youth. Like Ben recovered so quickly from that first fight, and that first fight took a lot out of Eubank. A lot. It took a lot more out of Eubank than Ben. I think we saw that, right? How long it took Eubank to recover. Eubank went to hospital. Ben fucking a few days later was in New York, walking the strip. He's a bit more experienced now, Ben. He went out like a crazy man in the first fight. This time, I feel like he'll be a bit more relaxed. I'm going to go for Ben. I think. Sam Babalola says, Ade, I don't think you give AJ enough credit or defend him against Simon. Olympic champion, unified champion, 2-time heavyweight champion with a great. I don't think there's anyone that speaks more highly of AJ than me in media. I'd love to meet the person who does. I'm not AJ's spokesperson. I'm not that guy. Sometimes you've got to play the neutral thing, right? Ultimately, AJ's got a team that can speak for him. AJ can speak for himself, but I defend AJ more than anyone. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. Obviously, if you've listened to Simon Jordan will have his own views, and I'm not here to argue with Simon Jordan, but I don't know, man. I do think I stick up for AJ a lot. Yeah. So I think I disagree with you on that one, Sam. I mean, unless you can think of someone in the media that sticks up for him more, I mean, feel free to let me know, and I'll say yes or no. I mean, there are some AJ defenders, but I think you'll be hard pressed to find someone more that comes to AJ's defense more than me. I think you'd be. In fact, there isn't anyone. You can't think of one. It's impossible. Ade, from a stylistic standpoint, who would you favor in an Ortiz versus Norman fight? Virgil Ortiz versus Norman. Virgil. I love Virgil Ortiz. Brian Norman's good. Brian Norman. You know what it is about these fighters, yeah? Until I see you fight someone, like, obviously, Brian Norman's coming off that ridiculous knockout, right, in Asia. But again, against who? Like, I've seen Virgil in there against two top 10 154 pounders. Like, without doubt, at the time, maybe Boychuk's might have come out of that top 10, but without doubt, two top 10 guys, right? Makhmudov, we saw how Makhmudov performed against Crawford, and we saw what Virgil was able to do to him eventually. And Boychuk was touch and go with Virgil. I ain't seen Norman do anything against anyone yet. So I'd always favor Virgil until I see you do something against someone. Because boxing, the levels in boxing are crazy, you know? And I said this the other day, like Dave Allen's a great example. Look what Dave Allen done to Johnny Fisher. One level up. Look at him against Makhmudov. Like, you jump up one or two levels in boxing, a lot of shit changes. So I need to see Norman in there against someone. We'll see him in there against someone November 22nd, right? When he takes on Devin Haney. Good question, though, dude. Good question. Mark Hatch's Caballero gave the blueprint and Dave didn't hit him in the body enough. Sad performance. Yeah, you know what the worst thing about that last bit about Dave didn't hit him in the body? Like, sometimes, obviously, to land body shots, you've got to get close, right? And it's very risky because Makhmudov is punching down and he's a big puncher. But there were times when Dave did close that distance and got really close to Makhmudov. And you're thinking, okay, let them big ones go now. But it's almost like he took so many punches in coming in that he just kind of sort of slept, if you like, on Makhmudov's chest, or Makhmudov held him. So, yeah, he just didn't do the work we wanted to see. But saying Caballero gave the blueprint, that's Caballero you're talking about, dude. Caballero is probably the second best heavyweight in the world. I was with a big trainer on Saturday, and he actually thinks Caballero beats Usyk. I don't want to say who that trainer is because it's a private conversation, but that's how good Caballero is. So it's one thing Caballero having the blueprint. It's another thing doing what Caballero can do. And there ain't many out there. All right. James, is it Bollington? Yo, Ade, your weight cut to 168. How many weeks do you aim in to lose the 30 pounds-ish for, and how many calories was you consuming last time? Good luck, my man. So Boxing Science, I can't remember the exact calorie intake, but Boxing Science wrote it all down for me. They were amazing and very cheap as well, like very cheap. Like they helped me a lot. They literally wrote it down from how many sprays of oil. It got to that. In terms of the time frame, 5 weeks. 5 weeks, lose the 30 pounds. But I want to still try and be as strong as possible because the next day when I rehydrate, we're going to see how strong I am. But yeah, going to be hard, but I love a challenge. My only concern is when I did the last one, I was 42. I'm now 44. Hamstrings are tight. Hips are light, but we'll fucking do it. No excuse. No excuses. None whatsoever. A guy called Henry, who, let me check, I think has passed 20,000 subs. Let's have a look. I think he has. Yeah, he's on 20,000. Yeah, he's on 20,000 subs. Incredible. Fucking incredible. What's he doing? Buying subs? Bloody hell. Nah, he's doing incredible stuff. And I think I mentioned him a few months ago back to you guys, like someone that just does stuff so different, like compared to what I do. Like he actually analyzes fights. And I think it's so good to see someone do that. I think it's needed in this space. And I think you guys appreciate it. Hence why he's grown his channel so quickly. I genuinely believe he could be on 50,000 by the end of next year. I think people are like catching up to what he's doing and are loving it. But yeah, great channel. Is it as good as my channel? Obviously not. It's a good channel. Current fighters who would be good in media. None of them really talk. Do they? Ryan Garcia is probably the one. Obviously, he does that inside. Is it The Ring? Is that what it's called? With Max Kellerman and Mike Coppinger. And I think he really speaks well on that. Shakur Stevenson's got a bit of, like, he likes to talk. Chris Eubank Jr. is good. He's a good talker as well, isn't it? When he wants to. Fury's a fantastic talker, but he wouldn't do it. I think Josh Taylor's a good speaker. Obviously, Sonny Edwards has crossed over and done well. There's a few actually, come to think of it, that I think could do a really good job. AJ would light Makhmudov up like a Christmas tree if they fought. Yeah, I'm telling you now. But yeah, he would. Makhmudov's just too slow. He can take a crack though, because Dave Allen cracked him a few times, so he can take a crack. But AJ's far too fast. And AJ's not the fastest heavyweight, but he's too fast for Makhmudov. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking, would I want to see it? It's an easier sell now that Makhmudov has beat Dave Allen. And I guess, there must be something happening behind the scenes, because all of a sudden there's this talk of Makhmudov, AJ. Where's that come from? So, yeah, if I'm AJ, sign me up immediately. What's this? 1 second. What's this? Ade, the sweatsuit thing that with Dave Allen you mentioned in your video, he covered. He got gifted a Box Raw windbreaker and he was sweating a lot. Okay, cool. Okay. You know what it is? I think Eddie posted a photo of that image. And I think we all like, well, what's going on? And plus he looked really slim in that image, didn't he? Even his face. I don't know, man. I don't know. 2 seconds. What's this one? What's your favorite quality whiskey, Ade? Surely you can afford more than the standard Jack Daniels. Yeah, well, yes, I can afford just a bit more. Not a lot, a bit more. I love Woodford Reserve. I drink a lot of Woodford Reserve. Every time I go out, it's like double Woodford Reserve. I like Talisker. Is that a whiskey? Talisker? Have I said that correct? That's a good one as well. But Woodford Reserve is my go-to drink. That's my go-to drink. Tonight, I'm having a bottle of Green Spot. G-Man's in the chat, I believe. G-Man, was this you that bought this for me? If you were the guy responsible for buying it, it's not bad whiskey. It's not bad whiskey at all. It was G-Man's birthday last week. So happy birthday to Mr. Liam Goff. Rugger Muffin. Ade, do you reckon that Andy Ruiz is done? No. I think there's one or two more left. That's probably more hope than anything else, but I think there's one or two more left, man. I think he's a really good boxer. He's Chris, so disappointing. Like, so disappointing. Fast hands, fast feet, a bit of a character. Like, the Mexicans would have like definitely got behind him, because they just don't produce heavyweights, right? It's him, it's Chris Arreola. That's it. They don't produce heavyweights like that. And nothing. Boxing Son says, Ade, if I get to 20,000 subscribers and stay consistent on YouTube, making videos similar style to yours, can we collab? Of course we can. I'm always up for helping quote unquote smaller channels grow. Always up for helping that. Hence why I do a lot of stuff with G-Man. Hence why I try and shout out a guy called Henry. Base the kids doing stuff as well. We did something last year. Base is very, very good. I need to get Base on a bit more. There's loads. October Red's killing it. I think what she does is so difficult. Like that shit of going to like fights and interviewing people. That ain't easy, man. That ain't easy. Reese Cooper, want Wardy to win, but I think Parker may stop him. 8-12. Why do you want Wardy to win out of interest? I'd love to know, Reese. come back to me with the answer why you want Wardley to win. I love both men. I think Parker's almost like an adopted Brit. I actually don't have a favorite as who I want to win. I'd be interested to see why you want Wardley to win. Do you feel like there's more fights out there for Wardley than there is Parker? Wardley being slightly younger, is that what it is? Be interesting to know. Luke, would you have the career of Ali or Ali? There's no like Muhammad Ali's. You could put any name there. Any name. Jamie says hi, Ade. Hi, Jamie. Hello. Oh, okay. Ade Oladipo says, do you think Dave should retire? No. You know me, I'm very quick to say people should retire. I'm gonna say no. I still think, was he 33? I mean, we're not at the Chisora stage, right? Where there's a lot of punishment being taken. There is some punishment, but there's not that type of punishment. I think there's a few good fights left in him. I'd love to see him lose a bit more weight, you know. Honestly, I'd love to see it. But I think there's a couple more fights left there. A couple big fights as well. Okay, Ade, what's going on with Matchroom Africa at the end of the year? Eddie mentioned it a few times now. Yeah, I'm hearing whispers of an event in December. There's two. I think there's a lot of talk about a Nigerian event. There's a lot of talk about a Ghanaian event. So I'm hearing rumors of both. So the Nigerian one wouldn't be Matchroom. So I'm guessing there's a Ghanaian one planned. Be interesting to know when, because if it's December, I mean, December in Africa, I don't know if you guys know this, but December in Nigeria and Ghana is just mental. Like mental. Everyone goes back home. It's packed. Musical artists. It's just, and the reason I'm even saying this is because it's very expensive in December in terms of flights and hotels. Everything just goes up by like 10. Like a flight to Nigeria now, you're probably looking at about economy. So like British Airways, 600-700 quid economy. Economy in December, around the time that they're talking about this fight, you're looking at about 2,500-3,000 economy. Everything just goes crazy. So if they are going to do an event, they need to announce it now so people can start buying flight tickets before they go mad. What's this one? Chaz Chili says, since I've been on a live, Ade has become a star in his own right. Nah, I'm not a star. I'm just the same guy, you know. I'm just a normal dude. Finlay Galbraith, which current boxing heavyweight would make the best crossover? The BKFC with their 25 million. Oh, okay. This is quite a good question. I'll tell you now, Dave Allen. Dave Allen could do really well because you know the chin's there. You know the chin is there. But let me think properly. Parker, Wardley, we got some big boys that can crack, and that have chins. You're looking at someone that hasn't been down or hurt, but can crack. Wardley has to be up there. Imagine Wardley hitting you with no gloves. Jesus. But I'd actually favor Dave Allen knocking out a lot of people because Lucas Brown was on a BK. I don't know, it was a BKFC, but it was on a bare knuckle event, and he was just knocking people out. Lucas Brown, so if Lucas Brown can do it, I think a lot of these fighters could really cause some problems. Which divisions would benefit from the reintroduction of the World Boxing Super Series? The only division that springs to mind immediately is the 154-pound division. I'll tell you now, light heavyweight could be good as well. But the 154-pound division is just too many guys. There's too many guys that actually think they're number one. That there's a lot of guys. I think there's about 5 or 6 guys. In fact, let me just get this up very quickly. Let me get this up. And I'll tell you now, I think of this 10 that I wrote down the other day, okay, Findora thinks he's number one. Without a doubt. You're asking me to say number one. Virgil Ortiz thinks he's number one. This is fact. Boots thinks he's the best. Xander Zayas, without doubt, thinks he's the best. Adams is coming off that really good win against Boychuk, thinks he's the best, and probably the best is Murtazaliev. And even Baru, who's won a world title or a version of. There's about 6 or 7 guys that think we're number one. Prove it. A World Boxing Super Series will prove that, boy. Would prove that. Uncertainty Principle. Uncertainty Principle. That's an interesting name, isn't it? Uncertainty Principle. Where do people get these names from? Love the channel, Ade. Keep up the great work. White versus Allen. Ooh, right now. Remember White bashed him up about 6-7 years ago. Maybe even longer than that. Right now. So that's an interesting one right now. I think I'll swing Dave Allen's way. You'd have to, in fact. One's coming off. I know one got knocked out by Moses Talma, but one's coming off a knockout defeat. So I think I would favor Dave Allen. Good question, that. Oh, someone just asked this as well. Dylan's asked. Won't happen, but Allen, Chisora. I'm going to go Chisora. Chisora White. I'd go Chisora. Chisora is like on a bit of a run, you know. Like Chisora is not losing at the moment. So I'd go, yeah. I'd go Chisora. I wonder who Chisora is going to fight. I'm so intrigued by who Chisora fights December 13th, this card? And who Moses fights. I have no idea who either I made a video a couple of weeks ago saying Moses Michael Hunter because I thought that was going to happen. That's gone quiet. And it could be going quiet for a number of reasons. Negotiations, these things happen. But yeah, that's gone quiet, which is strange. Don't know what's happened there. Scott, Ade, if David Haye was in his prime right now, where would he rank in the division? Both crews. Ooh. Would David Haye beat Jai Opataya? That's an interesting one. I think he would. I think he would be a bit too fast and punches too hard for Opataya, who does get caught. But David Haye might tie down. Like, if he doesn't get Opataya out of there early, you know what I mean? Opataya could get to him. But I'm going to say David Haye is the number one cruiserweight in the world right now. At heavyweight, David Haye ain't beating Usyk. And he might be a bit too small for some of the other guys as well. Some of you might scream back and say, well, 1 second, he beat the giant Valiev. Stop it. Valiev couldn't move. So I'm going to say in the heavyweight division, he's there. He's in the mix, but he's certainly not the top of it. But in the cruiserweight division, I think he could be number one. That's a great question. Great question, blood. Guys, you know what I need to do very quickly? I need to get my charger. My laptop's going to die. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's crack on with this. Boots is not to blame that Todd Grisham loses these marbles every single card. Yeah, Todd's got a lot of energy, but that line about Boots being the best ever, I was astounded by it. Astounded. All right. 1 second. Feel like you guys should stop with Moses way before we spot it with Boots. I know what you mean. Are we getting a bit too excited about Moses? Maybe we are. But no one's saying Moses is the best ever or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? I think we know where Moses is. And I think Moses, I have Moses. I think there are more better fighters at 154 pounds, so more problems for Boots than there is for Moses at heavyweight. But I don't think there are 9 heavyweights that could beat Moses. There are 9 heavyweights or 9 154 pounders I read off that list that could beat Boots. Not saying they will, but they could. I think Boots has more hurdles to get through to being that guy than Moses does. I don't know. What's this one? Gore? Good to see you, Ade. Keep up the authentic contents. Oh, the authentic contents. Interesting. Close up is king. Says, yes, brother. East London. My first Ade live. What? Anyway, look, guys, we are back with this every Monday or Sunday. So without doubt, there will be a live every single Monday or Sunday. We're We're not fucking about anymore. You know, we've kind of we've kind of decided like enough's enough. We're getting serious. I was always serious, but I always kind of stopped with the live. Mark Hatch, so David's speech is slurring already. I need to watch some old videos. I think Dave just talks like that. I need to watch some old videos to then determine. Because every time I've said that about people, it's because I watch old videos and they're a lot sharper. But I need to watch some old Dave videos to really, really see. All right, super chats come in very quickly, people. Anyway, Martin Eka Pedersen. What country is that? I'd love to know. Martin, what country is this? Anyway versus Nick Ball. Any dream fights for Ball? Yeah, like, I actually thought that this December card, I thought it was going to be Inoue versus Nick Ball. I was adamant that was going to happen. I was even going to make a video saying, oh, it's done, Inoue versus Nick Ball. So it does surprise me because I thought Inoue is definitely going to jump up one more weight class and Nick Ball's going to be waiting for him. And all of a sudden, nothing, which kind of surprised me a little bit, but it happens. Good to see the lives back. Ade, reminds me of lockdown days. Don't remind me of lockdown. Jesus Christ. But yeah, we used to do the lives quite a lot back then, and they are back now, man. They are back. Hey, Ade, I recently launched a YouTube channel, struggling to get flow on screen. You ever use a teleprompter? I'm struggling to stay on topic without one. But when using one, I become a robot. I've never used a teleprompter for YouTube. No, the only thing I can advise, dude, is repetition. And you know what the thing is? You don't even need to put those videos out. So the videos you do, you don't need to put them out. Just record them and just watch them back, and then you can kind of see the improvements. I will say this though, I kind of taking you guys behind the curtain thing. Sometimes it takes me ages to get the first couple of lines out. Like sometimes I'm like, morning peeps, subscribe, and I make a mistake. I stumble, I get it wrong. It takes me like there's one video, I swear it took me like 20 goes just to get that line out. So what I'm trying to say is I struggle, and I've done thousands of videos. So don't be too hard on yourself, my man. Just crack on without the teleprompter, because you can always tell when someone's reading, especially if they've never done it before, as opposed to someone just being natural. And it's okay to make mistakes. This isn't the fucking BBC. I mean, make a mistake, it's fine, but you've got to keep doing it. And once you keep doing it, you'll just eventually get it. Well done, by the way, in starting a YouTube channel. There's nothing better. Like when you get one of these, oh my God. Let me quickly get it. This, there's nothing like getting that. Fucking hell, worth all the effort I've put into it. Worth all the effort. That there, they should have one for 10,000. The idea of waiting to 100,000 is a joke, and now you got to wait to 1 million. It's a joke. AJ's the GOAT. On one of Dave Allen's recent Instagram stories, recent as when though? What, as in today? He said that he will stay fit for the rest of his career now. I mean, I guess it's kind of easy to say now, isn't it? No, I don't know. Luke Shepherd. I'd love to hear an interview of sorts with Teddy Atlas. Your honesty with his knowledge would be awesome. He's great. I've spoken to Teddy quite a few times at events, and just he's incredible. His energy, like he's talking to you and he's actually talking like he's commentating. He's screaming. He is fantastic. Honestly, fantastic, man. Didn't he have he would be, this new thing with Max Kellerman and Mike Coppinger. That would be so much better if Teddy Atlas was somehow involved in it. Because he would fight back with Max and with Mike, and he'll say what he wants to say, and it'd be so much better, I think. That's my own opinion. Yo, Ade, why is Findora being lauded as a killer at 150 pounds when he faked injury to Duck Crawford? He did not duck Zayas. Stop this. He did. See, when people say the duck thing, yeah, sometimes if you're going to get paid a bit more money, like the Xander Zayas one, I know for a fact that the Tim Zhu check was bigger. That's not a duck. I'm taking more money. Is ducking back ram, ducking his mandos, and now was pulled out injured to a wash Furman. Again, guys, didn't pull out injured. You know, okay, the record books say pull out injured. There's a lot more to that story, which I won't tell you. Actually, I don't want to get in trouble. Don't worry. How many tattoos do you have? I think you asked this one already. And do you regret getting them? No. Part and parcel of life. Boxer size Bradley 112 says Hatman doesn't have to show his face. He did a one-off faceless collab with G-Man. Not sure why he refuses to collab again. Does he refuse to collab with people, or is anyone? Have people asked him? You know what it is? I would want him to show his face. I'm not on this collab where you can see me and you can hear him. It doesn't make sense to me. Isn't a phone call. But again, the reason he asked that, by the way, is because I said, like, I would love to collab with Hatman. I think he's the best of what we do. I think he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. Bam Rodriguez is allegedly leaving Eddie. To go where? Where's there to go? You're going to go PBC? Like, when I hear that kind of stuff, I'm like, okay, what does that, does it mean he's, where? What's out there? In America? Golden Boy? Maybe? That would surprise me a bit. Eddie's done quite well with Bam, especially considering that, like, as good as Bam is, Bam doesn't talk, does he? Bam must be quite difficult to promote because you've got a talent there and you want the world to see the talent, and he doesn't say enough. Like, when I say talk, I don't mean like talk as in stir up shit and fucking throw a table. I mean just talk. Doesn't do much. Doesn't really do much on his Instagram either. So his social media. So you don't really see Bam until Bam fights. So that's not easy to push and promote. So it'd be interesting to know where Bam wants to go and why he thinks the grass is green on the other side. It'd be interesting. Two sex peeps. 2 seconds. Ade did also. Oh yeah, sorry, dude. If you want to get in touch with me about the weight cut, my email address is Ade, so ADE at Ade Oladipo. So ADE at ADEOLADIPO.com or .co.uk. I can't remember which one it is. Try both. And I'll answer whatever questions you want about this weight cut, man. Whatever ones you want. What's this? Does it annoy you when Africa is mentioned? Perception seems to be warlords, civil war, corruption, and chaos. It seems Middle East gets way more Western coverage than Africa does. Does it annoy me? No. You know, it would annoy me if I didn't go there and see things for myself. And so I'd be like, but I don't really care. As long as I go there and I enjoy my time, like I just came back from Nigeria. And the good thing about this Nigerian trip is obviously because there was the boxing there, there's a lot of media members came out. So I'm happy for them to see what it actually is like as well. There's one thing about perception, another thing about realization and what's realistic. And these people saw it for what it was. And by the way, it does have a lot of corruption. There is chaos. There isn't necessarily a civil war in Nigeria anymore, but there is problems still. So these things do exist. So there's no point shying around from them, but there's also another side that exists as well. But at the same time, I mean, those things could exist in most countries. Just what it is. But when I go to Nigeria or anywhere in Africa, I thoroughly enjoy it. So I think people need to go out there and experience it and not be afraid of it. That's why I think it was so good when everyone went out there and came back and told good stories about their time in Nigeria. It doesn't really annoy me, no. It doesn't annoy me at all. Impodium says, yo, Ade, I'm in Greece at the moment. Just thought I'd say hi. Top man. I was there with the missus. When did we go to Mykonos? The most expensive place ever. So beautiful, so expensive, but so beautiful. So if anyone wants to go to Greece, my advice, remortgage the yard before you get off the fucking plane. Frightening, but beautiful. Wild camping, Seamus. Hi, Eddie. Great chat, brother. What are your thoughts on the Eddie versus Dana vibes that Eddie is now fully? Yeah. Hey, favorite music producer, Kanye when Kanye was Kanye. Like Kanye's old producing skills were incredible, but of all time, I'm very much West Coast, so probably be Dre. I like the fact Eddie's going back. And Eddie started with a lot of respect for Dana, like looked up to him, right? Modeled a lot of Matchroom off the UFC in terms of like, we should be doing this and this and this. But now Eddie's like, fuck that. You're trying to attack boxing. I'm going to push back. And I like it. I like this competition. This might grow into what we had over here for years of Eddie and Frank. I'd love there to be a little Dana versus Eddie thing. I think boxing needs that spice. I miss the Eddie and Frank spice. Don't you guys miss that? When Umar would interview Frank and said Eddie said this, and Frank would get a little shake and then attack Eddie, and then Eddie would attack back. I love that. Now they're all like friendly. It's quite a bit boring, if I'm honest with you. Sahil Naim, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for this one as well. Sahil Naim says, Ade, why is Beterbiev injured? Because I saw him train basically on Instagram. I saw him, by the way, I don't think there's been confirmation he's pulled out injured. I will say that though. I haven't seen anything that says he's out injured. In fact, I've not even seen anything that says he's out yet. This is just, I guess it is real, but there's not been any confirmation from, I don't think from the Ring Magazine or Riyadh Season or Turkey or even Beterbiev himself. I think there's a fight lined up for Beterbiev. I think he's decided, you know what I'd love Beterbiev to do? I'd love Beterbiev to say, oh, fuck this, I'm putting on 25 pounds, I'm going to cruiserweight. Like, he's told me he wants to fight at a cruiserweight before it's all said and done. This is your chance. Like, sign me up right now for Opetaia versus Beterbiev, more than Beterbiev versus anyone at light heavyweight. Honestly, if someone to tell me, Ade, Benavidez versus Beterbiev or Opetaia versus Beterbiev, I'm saying Opetaia, Beterbiev right now. Right now, Beterbiev is one of the biggest light heavyweights I've ever seen. Go for it. That's a super fight right there, boy. That's a super fight. Jeez. Matt Borgenson says, I'm very surprised anyone expected a better performance out of Dave Allen. It's not like he hasn't shown us this 7 other times. Good guy, though. Yeah, see that? Yeah, it's harsh, but it's true, innit? It's harsh, but it's true. You know what it was, I think? I think it's because no one really thought Makhmudov was any good. So it's not because we expected Dave to be better than Dave's ever been. It's because everyone thought Makhmudov was just all right. And Dave did look good against Johnny Fisher. I know people were going to say it's Johnny Fisher, but he did look good. But that's why I liked what Dave said at the end. Just not good enough. And maybe there is a bit of truth with that as well. But you're right, he is a nice guy. But being nice don't win you fights. All right, where were we? Let's get some more questions in. Oh, I like this one. I like this a lot. Fraser Kenworthy. What do you think about Sandy Ryan versus Cameron? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I like that. Both of them need it as well. I just wonder how that would happen. Would Sandy Ryan have to sign up with MVP? I'm sure Eddie will let her go and fight over there. Because obviously Chantel Cameron's now with MVP. But that's a good fight over here. I was going to say it's a big fight. I don't know if it's a big fight over here, but it's a good fight over here. That could be a chief support. It's two girls that like to really fucking bang, don't they? So, yeah. So I like it. It's a good shout. Very good shout. Oh, see? See, there you go. I forgot Eddie had Shakur. This is what I'm talking about. When Eddie said that Boots is the most talented fighter that he's got, Shakur Stevenson probably thinking, dude, what are you talking about? But I think they all understand the game Eddie plays. I think they all understand it. So Eddie, like, I've been around Eddie. Eddie's like, people say the car salesman thing. It's not a car salesman. He's beyond that. And I think he was just trying to sell Boots. I guess it worked, right? It kind of got headlines. Brad Mahood, who will be the UK next world champion? I can't see Dalton or Noakes getting the job done in there. I will say this about Noakes. Noakes is obviously fighting Abdullah Mason on November 22nd. By the way, you left out Yard. Yard's fighting Benavidez. So there's a lot of potential world champions coming up. We've got Yard, Benavidez. So Yard's a chance. Noakes has got a chance on the same night. And obviously you're referring to Dalton Smith versus Matthias, which is when? January 20th, I think they're saying. Of those three, Dalton's probably the best chance, right? Dalton Matthias is probably the best chance, especially if that fight's not in America. There's a lot of talk about that fight being in America. If it is, it's a hard ask. Sam Noakes could 100% chin Abdullah Mason. Could chin him. I've seen Abdullah Mason go down a couple of times. Could chin him. Yards got it hard against Benavidez. There's no two ways about it. That's a tough ask. Tough ask. But it should be hard. To win a world title, it shouldn't be easy. That's not easy, is it? Brad Mahood, how would have Bivol Beterbiev played out 3-4 years earlier? As much as I love that man, I think Beterbiev would have got him. Yeah, Beterbiev. In that last Bivol fight, you could actually see he was 40. For the first time, I could see his leg to slow down. Remember, he had knee surgery. So you're talking about a Beterbiev, 36 or 35, no knee surgery. Nah, I again, I love Bivol, but no, that guy is frightening. I think I asked that one. Yeah, Bill's right. We need to stop the Usyk versus the Talma chat until Talma earns it. Yeah. What would be the opponent then that he has to beat in December to earn it? That's a good question, right? Isn't it? What would be who is the opponent to earn it? If he beat, I'm trying to think of a name. I'm trying to think. That's a random name. If he beat Okoli, is that an earning it? No. If he beat, who's a top 10 guy? So I'm not going to the big one. I'm not saying Cabiel Parker. Bakoli is Bakoli an earning it fight? Interesting as to what people think is deserving of it. I don't know. Don't know. Not sure. All right, where are we? Sorry. Ooh, interesting. Could you see Yonel Hernandez versus Carlos Adames anytime within 2026, or do you think belts are going to be reserved for Bud's attempt? Yeah, I'm not joking. Nobody who's got a belt 160 pounds. I mean, even Alam Kanali's fighting Lara, and I'm sorry, like Kanali at this stage is going to run through Lara at this stage. Anyone else with a belt is waiting for that phone call. Is waiting for that because everyone now knows the rumor is Crawford's going to come down to 160. That's everyone should know this, right? And if you are Carlos Adames, you are standing by that phone. You're like that. You're making sure the phone is charged. You ain't risking it of anybody. And bear in mind, Carlos Adames and Crawford have that history of that spar that went out. Everyone's seen the spar. So if you're Carlos Adames and you're Carlos Adames' manager, you ain't rolling the dice. You ain't fighting Hernandez. You're fighting someone, but you ain't fighting Hernandez. You're not doing that. No sirree. The worst thing for Sam Noakes now is Abdullah Mason knowing his capabilities being dropped. Yeah. If Mason never got dropped, he had a better chance. Honestly, yeah, he's a good shout. Because I feel like Abdullah Mason was a bit reckless. It's almost like you just, as a kid, you think that you can't be chinned, right? And now that he knows he can be hurt, he's a bit more smart now. You watch him now, and it's almost like he's watching Shakur Stevenson. I feel like he covers up a bit more. He doesn't take as many risks. So it's going to be hard for... But Sam Noakes is not outboxing Abdullah Mason. The chance he has is knocking him out. And you're right, Abdullah Mason might be a bit more clued on, I think, now. Hey, Ade, who you got? Prime David Hay. Prime David Hay, come on. Come on, David Hay all day long, man. Come on, people. Like, I love Moses, but we got to stop this. We got to stop this. Moses looks so good. And I think Moses is the future. I really do. But again, you got... No, not yet. Not yet. You can't be comparing him with those type of names. Like David Hay. David Hay was a killer, blood. David Hay was a killer. All right. Dab. Is that right? Dab. Ade, why is media and us gassing boots, fighting tune-up and acting like he beat someone. He needs to fight 50-50 fight for the first time in his career. Yeah, bit harsh, but yeah. He did want the Brian Norman fight. Remember that? I think Brian Norman Sr. kind of curtailed that. But I agree with you. I think we've gone a bit crazy with this. But like some of the things I've seen on Twitter in the last 24 hours of just like, well, 1 second, who did he beat? Like, what's going on here? But you can only beat what's put in front of you, and the way he beat what was put in front of him deserves some respect. All right. Where are we? We got like 10 minutes left. I'm trying to read as many as possible. Yeah, Garcia saying GGG, not a Hall of Famer. I want what he's smoking. Maybe you don't want what he's smoking. I think he's kind of backtracked on that a little bit now. And look, funny enough, I get what he means. Like being in the Hall of Fame, like it should mean something. But when you look at who's in the Hall of Fame, I mean, I'm sorry, Golovkin gets in. Like, it's not even a question. What do you have? How many middleweight title defenses did he have? Like 19? Something stupid like that? Yes. Someone asked about who would be an excellent pundit. Furman would be. Furman probably is the best shout there is. Keith Furman as a pundit, absolutely. And Fabio Wardley's very good as well. But Keith Furman's got the voice. Keith is just really good. Like Keith, I think Keith could be one of the best if he switched over in the next couple of years. I mean, if he fights the people he wants to fight, I mean, there could be a bit of a problem up top, but yeah. Yeah, he's good. Good shout. Theo Edwards, AJ versus Fury is starting to become a Khan versus Brook situation. No, it's worse than that. I've said that it's worse than. The reason I tell you it's worse than that is because Khan versus Brook, there was clearly an A side and a B side. Clearly, like there was Amir Khan and there was Brook, right? And I'm not talking ability. I'm just talking in terms of pulling power and stardom. Like it was Brook always chasing Khan, and Khan was off doing other stuff, flirting with other people. AJ and Fury are like this. They're both powerhouses. There is no A side, B side. It's two A sides. So it's worse than that. And the reason it's worse than that, again, is because Khan Brook wasn't going to generate hundreds of millions of pounds. It wasn't. I mean, both got paid quite well, but you know, it was at the, was it the MEN or the AO Arena? It was in Manchester, right? It was never going to do a stadium. AJ Fury could sell out Wembley Stadium. Am I over exaggerating this? It could sell out Wembley Stadium 6 times over. Like, could it not do 600,000 tickets? Could it not do that? That's how big it is. It's different. That's why it's so annoying. Is what it is. Is what it is. All right. Anything else? You definitely always tell people to retire too early. And today you've actually told someone to keep on fighting when he actually needs to retire. So you can't win. You can't win. I tell people to retire. I tell people not to retire. You can't win people. This is an example of you can't win. You can't win, Mr. Frozone De Niro. I realized the people that I do tell retire, it's an age thing as well. I've noticed it's an age thing. Like in recent weeks, months, I've said Wilder should retire. Well, I think Wilder's nearly 40, right? How old is Wilder? I don't know. I said Usyk should retire. He's 38. Plus, he's done everything. I said Crawford should retire. 38. Done everything. And by the way, the Usyk and Crawford thing are not because of punishments, because what more do you want? You've done everything. You've made millions. Like nothing left. The Dave Allen thing. Dave Allen's 33. And I don't know if I'd say he's taken a lot of punishment. I mean, he's been hit. Maybe. All right, I changed my mind. He should retire. Fuck it. Retire. Dave, retire. President Ade said no matchroom in Nigeria. Man sent them to Ghana. Yeah. No matchroom in Nigeria. No. I'm setting up my own thing in Nigeria. Yeah, they're not involved. Martin Lane, some good fights at York Hall on Friday. Yeah, it's like a matchroom next gen show, but it's really good. I mean, you know what though? Yeah, I do worry about sort of the main event. Like they're pushing like Lidard, right? It is Lidard, isn't it? Like, it's middleweight title fight. It is Lidard. Don't want to be wrong here. 2 secs. A lot of you are probably screaming at the thing now, saying it is Lidard, Ade. You're right. You just want to be 100% sure. Yeah, George Lidard. It is Lidard. Like I did Kieran Conway and Lidard's last fight. It was actually undercard of Dave Allen versus Johnny Fisher. Kieran Conway's massive for middleweight. Like I'm like how he makes it, and then I just feel like this might be a step a little bit. Like Lidard's got all the talent in the world, but Kieran Conway's not damaged goods. Don't think he's damaged goods. I think he's still very good. So it's a bit of a risky one, I think. It's a bit of a risky one. But yeah, it's good night of boxing. I'm doing Talk Sport that night. I finish at 10. So my show, Thank Football, it's Friday. So I won't be able to make it. Who's presenting? What's his name? Jamie Ward's presenting. He's a very good presenter, so he can do that one. All right. What else? Philip Hinchcliffe. Ade, what food did you order? Who's keeping it warm for you? I didn't order anything. My missus ordered food. Some Chinese or something, which she probably finished. So I can't even get any. Hot take. Brian Norman would have... No. It's not hot. No. You know, one thing about Boots is, yeah, I've seen Boots clipped a few times. That boy can take a punch. And he can hit back. He can hit back very hard. So, nah. At 147, I think Boots was clear. At 147. 154, you're swimming with the sharks. Caballero would definitely beat Usyk. Is there any way I can send you back this $4.99? Is there any way I can send it? Like, can I send it back to you? There's a reason he never mentioned his name in the ring. Oh, stop it. How can you say that someone would definitely beat Usyk? Like, what are we doing? Someone would definitely beat one of the greatest heavyweights of all time and an all-time great boxer. There's no, like, if you were to wrote, Ade, I think Caballero could beat Usyk. I'd be like, okay. You know, we all think silly things, but I'd say, okay. Like, Caballero would definitely beat Usyk. No, I got to send you this money back. I got to send it back. Stringer, I got to send it back somehow. Is there a way I can reverse this? Come off my screen. Get out of my screen. All right, guys, girls, we are done. Hour and a half is in the... Okay, I'll give you two more. Let me get two more questions. Where are we? Abdullah Mason, it's the truth. He ain't losing to Noakes. Okay, this is interesting. Where does Keyshawn Davis go now? Well, Matchroom, supposedly. There's a lot of big rumors right now that he's going to sign with Matchroom. He's got a year left on his top rank deal, but there's a lot of talk that Matchroom are going to buy out that year. So Keyshawn Davis could be going to Matchroom. Matchroom's American stable, like, frightening. Like, when you think about some of what they've got from, like, young kids in America, really, really good. So you got Boots. I know he's not young, but, you know, just fight Boots, Shakur, Bam Rodriguez, potentially Keyshawn Davis. Not the worst stable in the world, is it? In America. Last one. What's this? Bailey 20 times says, Ade, I like the Jota photo there, dude. Nice. Ade, do you think Joshua will fight 3 more times, as he said, try to become 3 times? No. I don't think Joshua fights 3 more times. I think maybe twice. And I don't think... I would love AJ to become world champion. Love it. But it depends who is the champion, right? If it's that guy from Ukraine, then it's going to be very, very difficult. If it's someone else, then he's got a chance. Like, don't tell me AJ hasn't got a chance against anyone else. He has. If he's right up here, I think he's okay. I think it's up here with AJ. He's got all the talent. Physically, he looks incredible, doesn't he? He's got all the talent. When he puts it together, he looks incredible. Just up here. And that's difficult. That's the hardest battle that he has. All right. Super Chat came in. It'd be rude not to read it. Fortune's hiding down under TV. What channel is that? I want to go check that out. I love this channel. Being a Brit down under, boxing has come on leaps and bounds. Can we see Liam Parrow fight Lewis Crocker? Liam Parrow is now 147, isn't he? Lewis Crocker, world champion. It's an interesting shout. It's a shout I never, ever would have thought of. Would never have thought of that. That would be Liam Parrott trying to become a 2-weight world champion. Let's not forget as well, Liam Parrott beat Subriel Matias. I think sometimes that's almost forgotten. Liam Parrott beat Subriel Matias. Liam Parrott just lost to Richardson Hitchens. No shame in that. So Liam Parrott, very good. I think undersized for 147 personally. Lewis Crocker, a big 147. And Lewis Crocker showed against Paddy Donovan that he can punch and box. If you're Lewis Crocker, you're waiting to see what Conor Benn does. That's the big money fight for you. You're waiting to see how that plays out with Eubank. Because there's a lot of talk. I don't think Conor can make 147, but there's a lot of talk about Conor coming down if he wins or loses. And if you're Lewis Crocker, then that all of a sudden is an interesting fight, right? So I don't think we'll ever see Liam Parrott fighting Lewis Crocker. You never know, but that's just my own take. All right, guys and girls, thank you for joining this live. Again, means a lot. If you could do me a very quick favor, please, as you leave the live, don't all leave at once. If you could just like the live, share it. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering who is this guy, well, subscribe and you'll find out more. Peace and love. Let me go and eat some grub.